The presidential debate, y'all. I feel like the presidential debate was the biggest waste of time that I've ever spent watching anything in my life. Just had to get that out there. Biggest, yeah, gotta make sure that we're the biggest waste of time that I've had, y'all. The fact that it was a bunch of arguing, bickering back and forth, a whole bunch of just no substance, in my opinion. I've heard so many different takes from it. Like I said, I've just wasted a whole bunch of time on this dumb presidential debate. From all right, let me just give y'all my opinions, and I'm gonna give y'all my opinions on Trump, Kamala, and then the ABC as a whole doing their thing. They put on the debate. Trump did what Trump does, makes headlines, says the wildest things in the world. That just is what it is. Kamala, she bickered back and forth with him, got on him, fed, didn't give us really nothing new, no policies, none of that stuff. And then the moderators, they didn't care nothing about that. It felt like they weren't even there half the time, or if they were there, they were pressing Donald Trump on answering the question when Kamala wasn't answering the question either. The biggest waste of my hour and a half that I've ever had. 100%. So y'all gotta see it. Y'all know I'm across seas. So I watch it after everybody else watched it. I woke up in the morning, watched it, did my thing. I was upset. I'm like, bro, this was a waste of time. I walk into the office, not the office, but I walk in the site. Why is this being talked about already? The first thing I hear when I walk in the door, did you watch that presidential debate? Did you hear what Trump said? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. When I hear what Trump said, that's crazy, Trump. It's crazy. It might have a little, truth to it. It might have a little lie to it. But that headline is all that you see everywhere. The headline is that the immigrants is eating people's pets. That's the headline. I'm like, come on, Trump. Come on now. We knew that this what you was gonna do, but I think it was a little far this time. I honestly think it was far. Had a lot of other stuff he said in there, but that was just the biggest one that I remember right off the top of my head. And another problem I have with this thing is it was all entertainment value. All entertainment value. I feel like I got nothing from it. And of course, I'm gonna get on y'all black people. I get on Instagram. Did y'all see that debate? Yeah, eat them up, eat them up. That's all y'all cared about was the eat them up part. Y'all didn't care about nothing else because it was no real facts in there. Let's be real. The whole debate had no real facts. It had this what I'm gonna do. How you gonna do it? A whole bunch of crazy stuff was said. A whole bunch of getting on each other. I'm better than you. All this. It's too much bull. The bull job. Let's just be real. I don't see how anybody got anything out of that debate at all. And all the black people on my TL, they were lit. Yeah, eat them up, eat them up. She really got on them. She was getting on them. That's because that's what y'all feed off of. That's the entertainment that y'all feed off of. That's what y'all watch. Bad Girls Club. That's all y'all want is the drama of it all. I don't want to deal with that. I don't care for that. Give me something solid that I can work off of, especially when it comes to a presidential debate. That was all entertainment factor. And if I wanted to watch that, I would go watch Love Island or something. If like, come on. It was nothing solid about that presidential debate whatsoever. I, mean, I, the worst one I done seen. 1,000% the worst one that I done seen. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this video out the way discussing the presidential debate that, in my opinion, was horrible. Let's get it.
So let's now welcome the candidates to the stage.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Donald Trump has been in numerous presidential debates, but this is the first presidential debate that Kamala Harris has been in. And I think millions of Americans were watching to see how she would perform without a teleprompter, without notes, without aides by her side.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that.
Early on in the debate,
that was one of them lines that y'all loved and ate up 1,000%. She told him, that was one of them lines right there. Yeah, 81 million people fired him. I think the Electoral College fired him, but that is what it is. That is what it is. Come on, let's continue.
Vice President Harris set a trap for Donald Trump when she brought up out of thin air this idea that people were leaving his rallies early because they were so things was saying.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
This wasn't in response to a question. It was just something that she kind of planted there because she knows that Donald Trump cannot take any allegation about his crowd sizes and move on.
People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics.
He was a little bit more all over the place.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? Who cares about Donald Trump rally size? And of course, Donald Trump cares, so he gonna respond to the bull. A whole bunch. Who cares? How does that help the American people? How does Trump's rally size help the American people at all? It doesn't. And this is the type of stuff they was talking about. This is the type of stuff that was hitting. This is the type of stuff that y'all say, yeah, she ate them up. A whole bunch of bull. I like, come on. Are we kidding? Are we serious? This is what the presidential debate has come down to.
The place, and it prevented him from attacking her on a range of issues where he might have had the upper hand, from immigration to the economy. Donald Trump probably had his most effective attack lines of the night when he was talking about the positions that Harris has changed over the course of her political career.
Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it.
The fracking issue is a huge one in Pennsylvania where this debate was held because
one thing we do know is that Kamala does flip-flop on her policies. That is what it is. That is what it is. However, that's something that we already know. Nothing new was said. Nothing new. They using the same old attack lines on each other. It's all at this point. Come on.
Big parts of Western Pennsylvania, this accounts for a lot of jobs. And so he was pretty effective in going right at her and saying that these are positions she's changed in the past, and how do we know that she's not going to change her position again? During the course of the debate, conservatives were screaming that the moderators from ABC were unfair to former President Trump on a number of occasions, but not too many occasions, but quite notably several. The moderators corrected him, fact-checked him in real time.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
I just want to clarify.
Y'all, that was the headline. That was the headline. That's the biggest line from this presidential debate that they running with. Like I said, y'all, I'm in Europe. That's what they talking about. Yo, did you hear Donald Trump said that they eating the cats and the dogs? I come into work, I'm looking like, come on, y'all. It's the morning time. I don't want to talk about this. Let me live. That's the tagline that they running with from this whole thing. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of embarrassing. It is kind of embarrassing. because that's the tagline. This whole thing is horrible.
I clarify here, you bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
These were statements that Trump has made repeatedly that have been fact-checked many times as not being true. So they didn't kind of wade into something that was maybe more, a gray area. But still, it was notable how it happened. And many conservatives, even some lawmakers, were alarmed. One other key point in the night was,
now let's be real. The moderators, it was definitely like what everybody was saying, 3v1. The moderators didn't let up on Trump at all. I'm talking about they didn't let up. No matter anything he said, that's fact checked. It's a lie. Anything. I don't personally remember them saying anything about Kamala getting fact checked. I don't think not one time. And I know she said some false statements too. Like as soon as she talks about Project 2025 or whatever it is, they should have fact checked her on that. Said, well, Kamala, that's a lie. That's not his Agenda 47. It's not. Moderators horrible. They did horrible. They played too much of a role. And they didn't do their job. They didn't do their job at all. This was a horrible debate.
Was when both candidates were asked about what they would do to resolve the conflict in the Middle East.
We must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
This is not an easy issue, obviously, but neither of them would lay forth a plan about what they would do to have this behind them. Harris talked about,
like I said, we got nothing from this debate. Who's surprised? Who's surprised? Let's be real.
About how she wanted to help families. She kept talking about this opportunity economy, which is, kind of a buzz phrase that Democrats are using. But there weren't a lot of specific new policies. There was one point when former President Trump was pressed on his approach to replacing the Affordable Care Act.
I'm not president right now, but if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing about it in the not too distant future.
Former President Trump brought forward a lot of the ideas that he's had in the past. He wants to raise tariffs. He wants to shut down the border between the U.S. and Mexico. They are popular ideas with his base. And the fact that he's going to stick to these ideas and continue to push for them and drive them home, that is the kind of consistent message that a lot of Republicans and conservatives and independents want to hear. The debate at the end of June between Biden and Trump was a disaster for Biden and knocked him out of the race. Harris could not afford to have a bad debate. So many Americans do not know her, do not really understand what her policies are. And if she kind of fumbled her way through the evening, it could have been the end of her candidacy as well. So we learned that she can hold her own, that she can go toe-to-toe with former President Trump for 90 minutes. Whether she did enough to win over independent voters, whether she did enough to kind of assure people in places like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, that she's the one that'll take the country where it needs to go in the future, it's unclear.
Yeah, it's unclear. For sure, it's unclear. Let's be real on that. It is unclear because that sucked. The whole debate sucked. I feel like if you're on the left, you're gonna stick with the left. If you're on the right, you're gonna stick with the right. Nothing from either side just made anything want to change. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will give both candidates a solid C. Trump does what he always does, but he fell into a whole bunch of traps that he should not fell into. Kamala, she didn't give us anything new at all. And y'all know one thing she did say about the small businesses, she wants to give them a $50,000 tax credit for the small businesses or something like that. A lot of black people won't be able to take advantage of that, because let's be real, how many black people are even making more than that? You can say what you want. You can say what you want, but how many? Just the truth of it. Overall, the debate gets a D. I'm gonna drop the debate to a D because the moderators was doing too much. Each candidate gets a C. The debate gets a D. D for debate. Horrible debate. I did not enjoy it. I wasted too much of my life, and I hope that I don't have to hear anything about this specific debate no more. The last debate that they did with Trump and Uncle Joe, 1,000 times better. The moderators asked the questions. It was no speaking over each other, all that extra stuff. It was clean. This debate by ABC trash. And the moderators should be ashamed of themselves for being so one-sided when it comes to this type of stage. Let me get y'all's. How y'all feel about it? Let me know. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Whew, y'all, that right there. I'm glad that's over with. I'm glad that's over with, because now I don't gotta talk about it no more. I feel like I'm gonna end up having to say a few words about it. I feel like I'm gonna have to say a few words about it, but overall, now that that's done, I don't gotta talk about that debate no more. Got nothing from it, y'all. I still want to say that. I got nothing from that. I just got a wasted of my morning, and I could have been doing something else. Or listening to something else with my morning. I ain't gonna lie. I got a book I'm trying to finish. That literally could have been finished in that hour 30 that I was listening to that bull jive.